humanity, justice and balance, our values. Thank you.
Thank you, colleague. Next speaker, Michael McNamara.
Vice President, Madam Callas. Every statement of the European Commission on Israel begins with its right to defend itself and the right of every state to defend itself. And of course every state does have that right. But Israel is no longer involved in a defensive war against Hamas in Gaza. It is engaged in war crimes in Gaza. It is also seeking to emasculate the Palestinian people in the West Bank while people's eyes are diverted to the horrors of what it is doing in Gaza. Israel's attack on Iran was not a defensive strike. It was an unlawful and unprovoked strike designed to subvert the negotiations that were taking place between Iran and the Trump government. Madam Callas, you rightly call for the respect of international law in Ukraine by Russia, but those calls are fatally undermined by your failure to do the same in Israel. The European Union must suspend its trade association agreement now, and Germany, which, because it fuelled a genocide against Jews, now feels obliged to fuel another one, must end its arms shipment to Israel. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, cher. Thank you, colleague. Anna Strollenberg, you have the floor.
More bombs, more dead, more children starving, burned and buried. The suffering we once called unbelievable is now streamed live into our phones, into our minds. And while the war in Iran gets headlines, peace in Gaza remains as far as ever. How can we pressure the Israeli government if we give them preferential access to our market? How can we condemn their attacks on Palestinians while we provide them the weapons? How is it possible that Netanyahu is still not facing any consequences, although every investigation after investigation shows that we are watching to unfold a genocide? Last Sunday, I marched for peace. I joined hundreds of thousands of people demanding an end to the suffering. Europeans are calling for peace, but Europe can only be heard if we speak with one voice. We must end the association agreement, we must enforce a weapon embargo, and we need to sanction those accused of war crimes.
Merci beaucoup, cher collègue. Thank you so much. Michael Scherba.
Mr. Vice Chairman, Madam Vice President, the escalating situation between Israel and Iran is a serious threat that demands quick action. We must pursue a clear and firm path towards a negotiated resolution to this conflict. The EU and its member states must stand united in their message. Iran must not be allowed to acquire nuclear weapons, and Israel has a right to protect the citizens. The EU has a crucial role to play in mediating this crisis, and we should actively offer our support. Collaboration with the US is essential. It's imperative that all parties abide by international law. A lasting solution must be grounded in legal principles, and the EU has a critical responsibility to uphold an international order based on legitimate claims and just solutions. We cannot lose sight of a dire situation in Gaza and West Bank. We demand that humanitarian aid can flow freely. Terrorists must release all hostages. Hamas' presence has no place in any future governance structure in Gaza. Finally, protecting the security of European citizens is non-negotiable and should be our top priority. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. Owen O'Rourke.
High Representative, why does the Commission say they care about the rights of children unless they are Palestinian? Why do they say they care about hunger unless it is in Gaza? Why do they say to defend international law until it is violated by Israel? High Representative, Europeans have had enough of this hypocrisy. Europe's leaders only offer silence and shame. Instead of condemnation, Ursula von der Leyen picked up the phone to Netanyahu over the weekend. You visited Israel in March, when the death toll was already 50,000. And now we hear that Israeli representatives are to be welcomed to Brussels next week for the EU Southern Neighbourhood Ministerial meeting. This should be unconscionable. And let me tell you, High Representative, citizens will be there to protest. And people often ask us, do we feel this way because we are Irish? It's not because we are Irish, it is because we are human, with eyes, with spines, with hearts. We ask you to open your eyes, to grow a spine, to grow a heart, and to end the association agreement and to sanction Israel now.
Merci beaucoup, cher collègue.
Thank you, colleague. Even Intier.